Hello everybody! I also really like earbuds with cords and earphone jacks that are very cheap. I love cheap things. I love to wear my clothes until they fall apart. I love saving money. I want my earphones to be on a leash. I want them on a leash so I know where they are. And I want them connected to whatever they need to be connected to. It's just common sense. I got really drunk the other night. I got really drunk with some friends, and we tried to go to a club, but we were so drunk that we didn't quite get there. So it was a very fun event, very fun, but the hangover was something else. So I don't think I'm gonna be getting drunk again for a very long time, because the hangover was something else. Whew. Getting really drunk reminded me of this little video that I saw. And I'll show it to you now.
Whoa. Hey! Let's talk about it. Midwives in the African countries of Tanzania, Congo, and Uganda have been successfully performing C-sections for hundreds of years. The mother would be sedated with a lot of banana wine, and the tools used during the surgery were sterilized with fire. The midwives would also clean their hands with wine as well, and then wash again with water. The baby survived, the mothers recovered well, and they were given herbal treatments to promote wound healing. Infection, shock, and excessive blood loss were pretty uncommon. The most reported problem was that it took longer for milk to come in, so usually friends and relatives would help the mom nurse the baby. R.W. Felkin actually documented a C-section that he witnessed in Uganda. To him, it was a marvel that needed to be spread to the rest of the world. And it was. This is Habari and Gemma. Follow me if you want to learn more about African politics and pop culture.
Isn't that cool? I thought it was cool. And I'm pretty sure that it is factually accurate. So yeah, pretty cool. I can't imagine how much banana wine you would have to drink though. That'd be probably a lot. I hope you don't have a horrible hangover, but I don't know, I've never had banana wine. Banana wine. But that's just really cool. I love learning things. Like, apparently I found out that women before the 1800s used to give birth standing up. That was kind of like the universal way. Because I saw this, a couple years ago, I saw this Aztec sculpture of a woman. It was like a goddess, and she's giving birth to her son, and in the sculpture she's standing up. And I was like, what? It was like one of those old sculptures that archaeologists dig up or something. And I was like, what? She's giving birth standing up? What's that all about? And then a couple years later, I read this thing about how, like, even women in Europe too would give birth like standing up, until male doctors decided it would be more convenient for them if the woman gave birth lying down. I found an article called "The Bizarre Reason Why Women Started Giving Birth on Their Backs" from storkhelpers.com. It went into the history of birthing positions. King Louis XIV, who ruled France from 1643 until 1715, had a lot of children, and he would often make his mistresses lie down while giving birth so he could look at it, which is kind of gross. Actually, that's really gross. And because he did that, and he was king, that popularized the lying down birth in France at the time. But up until the 1900s, women usually gave birth at home, and they also gave birth standing up. The statue that I saw is called the Dumbarton Oaks birthing figure. The figure is considered by several scholars to be a pre-Columbian artwork, while others believe it was made in modern times, possibly in the 19th century. Some people theorize that it is the goddess Tlazolteotl, the deity of sexuality, vice, purification, lust, filth, and, she kind of cleaned all that was filthy, and also was the deity of all that was filthy. According to Aztec belief, it was Tlazolteotl who inspired vicious desires and who likewise forgave and cleaned away sin. She was also thought to cause disease, especially STDs. It was said that Tlazolteotl and her companions would afflict people with disease if they indulged themselves in forbidden love. And then in order to be purified and forgiven for their sins, she would have to be called upon to cleanse them of their sins, and they would be given a steam bath, amongst other rituals. But have you guys noticed that it's so hard to fact-check things nowadays? Like, it's so hard to look things up on Google and get a source for things. And, like, Wikipedia is honestly one of the only reliable sources nowadays. And, you know, like Google is borderline unusable now. It's really wild. And that's not good, because there's so much misinformation on the internet. Like, me, I'm good. I'm really good at discerning things and figuring out what's information and what's misinformation. But, like, you know, a lot of people that are younger than me or older than me are not, you know. Like, you meet a 17-year-old and she'll be like, I am 17, but I'm using my manifestation powers to harness my dark feminine energy to become the next president of the United States, which will happen for me because I will it to happen. And you'll be like, okay, why? And she'll be like, because I learned I could do that on TikTok. Do you know what I mean? And then you'll talk to like a boomer about political events, and they'll be like, yeah, the government is made of lizard people who are Jewish and also lizards from outer space. And you'll be like, okay, well, where did you get that information? And they'll be like, Facebook. And you'll be like, I don't know about that one. They'll be like, George Soros is the source of all suffering in the world. And you'll be like, who is that? And they'll be like, you haven't heard of him? Oh my god. He's all the rage on Facebook. And it's like, okay.